Hey guys, it's Mark Sinakori, and this is going to be a video on all the celebrities, or pretty much all of them, or most of them that I've met during my time when I worked and lived in Hollywood between 2005 to 2019. Before I get into that, there's going to be a little trivia about myself before I get into these celebrities. For example, I am second cousins with an actress who was on Baywatch named Danielle Rossiti. And her husband is Brandon Douglas, who has had starring roles on, I believe, Falcon Crest. I believe he was also in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. And he's also been in episodes of Now 210, Beverly Hills Now 210, and other series. And my first kiss was with one of Annette Funicello's nieces, and I was also managed for a short time by Tyrese Gibson's sister, and I met one of the nephews of Roddy McDowell when I was working on sets in Los Angeles. So that's a little trivia before I get into the big celebrities or big producers, etc. that I've met out in Hollywood. Here we go. Bob Barker, The Price is Right. Rich Fields, The Price is Right. Then when I worked at the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, of course, Craig Ferguson, Chevy Chase, Terry Crews, Henry Winkler, Peter O'Toole, Alice Cooper, the entire Montgomery Gentry Band, who I sang without in the hallway before they went on. Piper Perabo, who I did a skit with in the hallway with Craig's writing assistant and her, but it never aired. The director wanted me to be in it, and I consoled the writer, Craig's assistant writer, or whatever it was, and said, "Don't worry, man, you're still funny to me," when she said that Craig thought he wasn't funny. Allie Mills. I met her at the CBS commissary, and she told me, "Do you know if the bell sounds in here to go back on set?" And I'm like, "I don't know. This is my first week." And then I looked at her, and I'm like, and she just smiled at me, and then like 2 seconds later, she was gone. She was working Bold and the Beautiful at the time. Probably still is. Ron Moss, Bold and the Beautiful. And then when I worked behind the scenes of The Price is Right with the host who tried out to replace Bob Barker, when I auditioned with, rehearsed before we did their test shows. I was a practice contestant with them. Mario Lopez, George Hamilton, Mr. Creepy, on Dynasty, who kidnapped Crystal and had a woman pretend being her. Todd Newton and Mike Richards, who actually became an executive producer on there for a while, and then you know what happened to him when he went to Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. Roger Dobkowitz, The Price is Right. Great longtime producer. Kathy Fingers Greco, The Price is Right. Another great time producer. Mackenzie Mozzie, The Bold and the Beautiful. Kyle Lauder, The Bold and the Beautiful. Tasia Sherrill, who was on Everybody Hates Chris. I actually worked with Tasia. Her real name is Shantae. She told me, "I'm an actress, you know. I worked with her when I was at Nielsen in Hollywood. I'm an actress, and your voices are so funny. Pay your dues. You're going to be a big actor." And I said, "What have you been on?" "Oh, I play Pam on Everybody Hates Chris." Marcello Bedford. He's been on Dangerous Minds and then the movie in 1996, and plus he's had guest spots in other shows. Matthew Morrison, Glee. Brad Falchuk, Glee. Mark Hamill, NCIS. Jim Belushi, The Defenders. Lori Lively, The Defenders. When I met Lori, she was a co-star on the show, and we had a tape stop. I was an officer, and she played a strip club owner. And she was telling me, oh, what's your story? What are you doing out here? And I said, my favorite show was Melrose Place. Oh, no kidding, she said. I had a couple of lines on that in its final season. And I said, who are you? Oh, I played Michael's college girlfriend. I'm like, I remember. And we were kind of smitten on set during tape stops, so. But nothing ever became of that. But she was really nice. She was really, really nice. Ryan Murphy on Glee. John Blyth Barrymore. Drew Barrymore's brother, who directed my first film. He was also my acting coach. He was also Zeke on Kung Fu. Pretty much all the cast of Grey's Anatomy. Between 2009 and 2012, I met most of them. Yeah, Chandra Wilson, James Pickens Jr., Patrick Dempsey, Ellen Pompeo, Sarah Drew, Sandra Oh, Jesse Williams, Eric Dane, Debbie Allen, she called me sweetie, Justin Chambers, Daniel Sunjata, who played a love interest of Miranda's for a little while. Boki-an! Nurse Boki! When she had a line one day, I congratulated her. She's like, thank you. She's a really nice girl. Very nice woman. Very nice woman. She's been in all the operating scenes. Jason Winston George, Kevin McKidd, Stephen Cragg. Big director. Big director of Grey's Anatomy episodes and so many other shows. I auditioned for him. And he kept calling me back. And that's how I got to be a regular hospital staffer in Grey's Anatomy. Brian J. White, Men of a Certain Age. Patrick Gallagher, Men of a Certain Age. Joe Montegra, Criminal Minds, who also was the voice of Fat Tony on The Simpsons. Kristen Ritter, James Vanderbeek, and Dreama Walker. Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. Eva Longoria and Ricardo Cevaris, Desperate Housewives. Catherine Sage Kirkpatrick. She did my headshots in 2013. And, ironically, she played Dexter's mother on Dexter. I didn't even know that. Never watched that show. But, a little info I found out. Bradford Anderson on General Hospital. I met him at Dunkin' Donuts grand opening in Encino. He came in the first day, and I was there, ironically. The entire cast of Two Broke Girls, Kat Denning, Beth Bears, Jonathan Kite, Matthew Moy, Garrett Morris, even Christopher Gorham, who played one of the boyfriends in one of the last couple of last episodes of the series. Ron Pearson, he's a big warm-up guy who's had his own, one of really popular game show on cable in the late 90s. I forget the name of it, Shop Till You Drop or something. Mark Sweet, he's also another big warm-up. He played Willy Wonka in a lot of 70s commercials. He's an amazing magician and hypnotist as well. Girl Meets World. I met Corey Fogelmanis. I met Ben Savage, Danielle Fishel, and longtime director Joel Zwick, who also directed Full House, Boy Meets World, all those mostly TGI shows in the 90s. And I also met him when my friend Daryl Silva, who's from Lawrence, Methuen, was premiering his film Boys out in Los Angeles, and I was in the picture with them. I'm like, wow, I met you. I saw him at Girl Meets World, the last taping I was at, and I'm like, hey, I know you. You're Joe Zwick, right? He goes, yeah. I'm like, you know Daryl Silva. Daryl Silva, Joe Zwick is what is it? The godfather of his kids. He's like, oh, yeah, I remember that. Oh, you're in that picture. Great, I remember you. Fuller House, I met practically everyone. Laurie Loughlin, Jeff Franklin, Andrea Barber, Candace Cameron, Jodie Sweetin, Bob Saget, Sonny Nicole Bringus, John Stamos, Michael Campion, John Broverton, Scott Weiner. Also, I met Scott's mom, the Camerons, Candace Cameron's mother and father, the Sweetins, Joey Sweetin's mother and father, and the Barbers, Andrea Barber's mother and father. They were always there at almost all the tapings. Then Brian Baher, John Beck, and David Arnold, the producers of that show, they were amazing. Always, when I worked at the bottom of the stage, when the wheelchair people were there, the handicap audience, oh, bring them on the stage, come down. Oh, yeah, come down, take photos, it's great. They're very, very nice people, very, very good crew. At the Connors, I met Sarah Gilbert and Michael Fishman. At One Day at a Time, I met Rita Moreno and Isabella Gomez. Dr. Ken, I met Ken Jeong at the final taping. At the Ranch, I met James Evans, Grady Lee Richmond, and Sam Elliott. He was very nice with everyone, always talking to everyone, shaking everyone's hands. At AFV, America's Funniest Home Videos, I met Alfonso Ribeiro. And at Living Biblically, which was a short-lived show, I met the Allen twins. The Allen twins, Mia and Ella Allen. They don't remember me. I was on their Facebook one time, their page. They were only like 5 years old when they were on, well, one of them was on that show. But they played twins on Jane the Virgin. And their dad was at the show with them that night. One of them was in the audience with them, and then one of them was on stage. And then they were both in a tester pilot. I forget the name of it. I think it was called Most Likely To. And the father remembered me and my friend who was also an audience page. Oh, we remember you. And I remember walking out of the studio with the father and my friend who was also a page. And these kids, the two Allen twins, hugging me and my feet. Just walking out of Warner Brothers. It was so fun. So funny. And that's basically most of the people I've met in Hollywood that are celebrities or big producers. Maybe I left people out. I'm not sure. But, hey, those are the people I mostly met.